The Prodigal Son, a story of mercy and a father's love. The parable of the prodigal son stands as a cornerstone of Christian teaching, a timeless narrative etched in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 through 32. It's a powerful story of forgiveness, repentance, and the boundless love of a father. This parable resonates deeply with anyone who has ever felt lost, made mistakes, or yearned for acceptance. It speaks to the core of the human condition, our capacity for both great error and profound redemption. The story offers hope, illustrating that no matter how far we stray, a path back to love and grace always exists. Let us delve into this profound parable, exploring its layers of meaning and its enduring relevance. The story begins with a younger son making a shocking demand. He asks his father for his share of the inheritance. In the cultural context of the time, this was an act of profound disrespect, essentially wishing his father were dead. Yet with a heavy heart, the father grants his son's request. With his newfound wealth, the younger son journeys to a distant land, far from the watchful eye of his family and community. There, he squanders his inheritance on reckless living, indulging in a life of debauchery and excess. He chases fleeting pleasures, oblivious to the consequences of his actions. Inevitably, his wealth runs out. A severe famine strikes the land, compounding his misery. Reduced to utter destitution, he finds himself forced to take a job feeding pigs, an occupation considered abhorrent to Jews. This marks the lowest point of his descent, a stark contrast to the life of privilege he once enjoyed. In the depths of his despair, a glimmer of realization dawns. He recognizes the folly of his actions and acknowledges the generosity of his father's household, where even the servants live better than he does now. He resolves to return home, not as a son, but as a humble servant, hoping for a chance at redemption. As the younger son makes his way home, the father is watching, his eyes constantly scanning the horizon. He sees his son approaching from afar, a figure worn and tattered, a shadow of his former self. The father's heart overflows with compassion. Without hesitation, he runs to meet his son, defying social norms and decorum. He embraces him tightly, showering him with kisses, a powerful display of unconditional love and acceptance. The father's actions speak volumes, conveying a forgiveness that transcends words. The son begins to recite the speech he has prepared, acknowledging his sin and unworthiness. But the father interrupts him, refusing to let him dwell on his past mistakes. Instead, he commands his servants to bring the finest robe, a ring for his finger, and shoes for his feet, symbols of restoration and honor. A great feast is prepared, a celebration of the son's return. The father rejoices, declaring that his son, who was once lost, is now found, and who was once dead is now alive. The house is filled with music and laughter, a testament to the transformative power of forgiveness. Amidst the joyous celebration, the older son arrives, returning from his work in the fields. He hears the music and dancing and learns of the reason for the festivities. Overwhelmed with anger and resentment, he refuses to join the celebration. He feels that his loyalty and hard work have been overlooked, that he has always been a dutiful son, yet has never received such lavish treatment. He confronts his father, expressing his bitterness and questioning the fairness of the situation. His words reveal a heart hardened by pride and a lack of understanding of his father's love. The father gently rebukes his older son, reminding him that everything he has is already his. He emphasizes the joy of finding what was lost, of welcoming back a brother who was once considered dead. This brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found, the father explains, pleading for understanding and compassion. The parable ends without revealing whether the older son ultimately accepts his brother's return and joins the celebration. This open ending invites us to reflect on our own capacity for forgiveness and our willingness to embrace those who have strayed. It challenges us to examine our hearts and to overcome any resentment or bitterness that may prevent us from experiencing the fullness of love and reconciliation. At its core, the parable of the prodigal son is a profound illustration of God's unconditional love, a love that extends to all, regardless of their past actions. It's a love that seeks us out, embraces us in our brokenness, and restores us to wholeness. This love is not earned, but freely given, a gift of grace that transforms lives. The parable is rich in symbolism. The Father represents God, the embodiment of boundless love and forgiveness. The younger son embodies those who stray from the path, who make mistakes, and who find themselves lost in the wilderness of their own choices. The older son represents those who believe they are righteous, who adhere to the rules, but who may lack compassion and understanding. The parable serves as a powerful call to self-examination. It challenges us to embrace forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. It encourages us to recognize the boundless love that awaits us, a love that transcends our imperfections and welcomes us home with open arms. It asks us to consider whether we are more like the prodigal son, seeking redemption, or like the elder brother, struggling with resentment. Now, themes of hope, redemption, and the transformative power of unwavering love resonate across cultures and generations. The parable reminds us that no matter how far we may wander, a path back to grace always exists. It offers solace to those who feel lost and inspires us to extend compassion to those who are struggling. It is a timeless message of hope, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, we are never beyond the reach of love.